We're on the air at 9 o'clock on every weekday night, taking calls from the Bears. Hello, hello, it's Rangers Radio. Hello, hello, this is the phone-in show. We're on the air at 9 o'clock on every weekday night, taking calls about the Jazz.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxford, on the panel this evening. It's the one and only Bridgeman. And Rudy Bear. How we doing, gents?
Evening, Oxford. How we doing? Evening, Bridgeman.
Good evening to you guys in the panel. Huge good evening to the boys in the lobby, and a massive good evening to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
How are you, Bridge?
I'm a lot better than I was on Friday evening, shall we say. I wasn't too happy after that game, but nevertheless, things seem to have calmed down. I'm a lot better. Really good.
In some respects, I'm even more disappointed now, if that makes any sense, Rudy.
Aye, definitely. Yeah. Makes the result on Friday night all that more, a bit more frustrating with them dropping points on the Saturday. It seems to be a feature this season, the Ox, doesn't it? Every time we've had the opportunity to sort of claw points back, we failed, and then we failed again there, you know. So, but I was a bit despondent on Friday after the result.
Did it put you off your food?
No, really, no. But
just one pizza.
Yeah. But since the result on the Saturday, I don't know, a bit more philosophical tonight, I think, Ox, you know.
Just the one pizza and a double calzone.
Oh no, it was a nice spicy meat feast tonight, thanks.
You'll pay for that.
Well, I'll have heartburn later on, mate. Middle of the night I'll get it, no doubt. As usual.
That's dodgy. Your age, you need to watch.
Oh, I know. What do you mean my age? What are you talking about? You would have
bite there. I remember I was giving out life advice before we came on the show, as you will know.
Aye, I know, I heard. I heard no, sorry.
Bridgeman, I mean, if I'm being honest, we played well enough. First half, we had enough chances to win. I don't know. Well, I'll not say chances. We had enough good situations to win 3 or 4 matches. Because we never really peppered the goal, but we got into some great positions.
Yeah, we did. We created some lovely chances. They weren't. Some of them might not be 100%, but my goodness gracious, Fredo Morelos was through twice, one on the right and one on the left, and the keeper made a good save first one, but it was well wide in the second. I thought that once again, Mr. Arfield had, I would suggest, 3 really good chances. One of them to me was a topper. You know, should have buried it. But they hats off to them. They dived in, used every part of their body they could to get the ball stopped and blocked and all the rest of it, and that's what they're there for. And they held us out as long as they could. I thought Candias' first shot got blocked, second shot was a peach, and the goalkeeper had no chance for that one.
I found Candias' performance pretty frustrating, Rudy. Even more so when you see how well he done with the goal, with the finish, and then the rest of the game he just couldn't get the ball past the first defender. It was getting on my nerves, if I'm being honest.
I don't blame you, Ox. I get I like Daniel Candias, really like him actually. You know, as you say, he scored an absolute peach of a goal. You know, left foot curled it right into top corner. It was a beauty of a goal. You know, but then you look at the rest of his performance. As you say, struggled to get the ball past the first man, lost the ball easily, daft passes. But you know, the second half, in all honesty, we should have had that game wrapped up by half time. Ox, you know, but
I agree, and that's what I found frustrating, because I think if we get the second goal there, Rudy, they've got to open up even more, and the chances are we pick them off for the players we've got, and we can score their goals. But we're putting ourselves under pressure, Rudy.
100%. That's exactly what we're doing. You know, we can't seem to. I can't really think of a game apart from possibly the 29th when we had. At 90 minutes, we played for 90 minutes. You know, it seems to be a feature of our game this season that we've not managed to string a full decent 90 minutes together. apart from maybe one or two games, certainly against the Tims they did, you know. But in very few games have they managed to do that. And then, you know, again on Friday night, really good first 45 minutes. I'm thinking second half, we'll come out and batter this lot in the second half. And it didn't transpire that way, you know. But you've got to give a wee bit of credit to Hibs, Ox, you know. They hung on in there, as Bridge was saying. They defended really well. And then in the second half, they changed their shape a wee bit, overran us in the midfield. And in all honesty, by the end of the 90 minutes...
We could have lost it.
Could have lost that game. We could have lost it.
So, do you think that there's learning in there for the boss? I mean, obviously, with maybe the 20 minutes to go, I'll go to Bridge in. Maybe it was McCrory time. Just sit in there, keep our shape, and see the game out. Have we got to learn to do that, Bridge?
For me, actually, I would have done it. For me, if I was in charge, knowing how we performed, particularly at Easter Road, I would certainly have changed at half time. I would have brought in a defensive midfielder and let's keep what we've got and don't let anybody through. Just take them right out of the park. You know what I mean? Just push them all the way.
I'm glad you're not in charge of football teams, mate.
That game was. We're sitting here and now we're saying, "Oh well, we've let ourselves down and blah 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 blah." We did shoot ourselves in the foot. Trouble is, we weren't defensive enough. First half, we were full out of attacking, and the only goal we could get was a 1. And if you think about it, in all honesty, did we ever really think we would score another goal against them? The way that referee was playing, it wasn't going to happen. For me, it should have been defence. We should have got a defensive midfielder out there and just to stroll about in front of that back four there and let them do that and hold the full-backs back and let them do what they want to do. We just put the ball back out again up to them. Seriously, that's what I would have done. I would have held out.
I know everybody sees football slightly different, but if I'm 1-0 up, Rudy, and I've got somebody up the ropes, I want to get the second goal and kill the game.
I think it's like you say, had we got the second goal, Ox, I think the game would have been over and done with. In all honesty, I don't think they would have come back and scored 2 or 3. You know, but look, the midfield for me, but bringing McCrory on, I think is a good shout because midfield for me, Jack was nowhere to be seen in my opinion. Neither was Arfield. The boy Kamara done his best as he could. I thought he played really well. Actually, I thought he had a good game. Kamara, he's impressing me more and more. You know. But in that second half especially, Ox, he's running about there trying to do everything on his own though, you know. I don't know if Ryan Jack is still carrying maybe a wee bit of that niggly injury that he had before in the run-up to it and stuff like that. But, you know, they kind of overran us a bit in the midfield. But, look, see, I think at this I'm kind of with Bridgeman a wee bit here. As much as I want to see free-flowing football and goals getting banged in left, right and centre, I just think it's the 3 points that matter just now, Ox. You know, there's about 9 games left, something like that, you know, and it's just a case of collecting the 3 points at the end of every 90 minutes for me just now. And if you offered me a 1-0 win here, all the way from now to the end of the season, I would take it, Ox, to be honest.
You know, way back in the 60s, guys, the Italians brought out that fantastic defensive formation, Catenaccio type thing. As far as I was concerned, they knew what they were doing. They did what they did. They got a goal, and then they just murdered it. They just murdered the game in that sense, you know. Yeah. But we allowed them. They come in there and they put 3 or 4 into the midfield. They played either a 4-4-2 or switched to a 4-3-3 whenever necessary. But they actually overloaded the midfield on top of us, and we couldn't get the second ball. So for that second half, I think we only got a second ball maybe about a third of the time. Yeah. And we never done nothing with it when we got it. So as far as I was concerned, it would have been better if we just put on a defensive mind. Obviously, we need to build a squad that can do these things properly, but we should be just shutting the door. This was a real good game. We need to win this. And as Oxter said, and I said it the other night, we were very close to getting beat there. McGregor brought up a fantastic save. Worrell put a great block in. You know, these are danger times for Rangers. We've got a history of not being able to hold on and see a game out properly unless we're 3 or 4-0 up.
If you look at the 3 games against Hibs, you know, where we've lost you've lost the 3 points. You know, if you look at the games against Aberdeen, Motherwell, there's so many games this season, Bridge, where we've not managed to hold out to get the win. And they can't seem to do that just now. You know, maybe it's because they don't have the right players just now. Maybe, I don't know what it is. Is the quality, you know, there? You know, they've not got the right mix or blend in midfield to hold out, you know, playing in front of the defence. Whatever it might be, I don't really know, but we've proved in many an occasion this season that we can't hold out. You can't play scintillating football every week, banging in loads of goals. Occasionally, you're going to have to scrap, play dirty, win the game dirty, and we can't seem to do that, Bridge, just now, you know. You there, Bridge?
Oh,
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you think about it, we're attacking. Our captain's up. He's doing the business. He gets fouled, and it was a foul. I'm not disputing the fact. Now, I would have seen it about 4 times. It was a foul.
Bridge. It was a
And the manager was right. It was a foul. But that referee, and I know what to say these things too much, but we're getting cheated left, right, and centre. That was a foul. However, our captain's raging. He's sitting in the deck, and and then he gets up. He's never going to get back. They've got.
Never get back.
If you watch Candace, he's very poor with that goal, Bridge.
Absolutely, but see if you've got a defensive midfielder in front of your back four, he'll cut that out. I'm not saying he'll cut everything out, but he'll cut it out and he'll break the play up and break them up. If you know they're right through, and when they get right through on our centre backs, sometimes we struggle a wee bit. You know, we do.
I couldn't really blame the defenders for the goal. They get caught. Overran
absolutely.
And we get caught up the park. I mean, when Tavernier get fouled, and I agree with you, it was a foul. I'm no one for blaming referees as much as some, but it was a foul, and that happens in a game, and the other team spring clear, and we've got 70 yards to defend it, but we're all over the place because we are so attacking, you know, and that's maybe your point about McCrory being on. I mean, for me, I'd have brought him on for maybe Arfield on Saturday in the second half. You know, I just think as the game went on, it wasn't Arfield's night. And then just told McCrory to sit in there and just try and keep a shape, you know, and maybe see the game out, you know. But anyway, everybody sees the game slightly different. We've got an announcement. I'm going to bring in, make sure I get this right. Fox, I hope you're sitting there. Make sure I get this right. Bridgeman, it's good news. We've got the telephones working again.
Oh, well done. Well done.
Yes, the boys were working on it. I noticed that they done all the work on a Sunday, Bridge, double time, but there you
Double
go.
time, man.
So for the UK, you can phone in using a landline or a mobile. But with the UK, we can only bring you in on Skype now. Yeah, and the same thing will be you contact the show, and when nobody set up in Skype, once you've contacted the show, they'll take a note of who it is, and they will ring you back. Yep, does that make sense?
Well, that makes perfect sense. But there's. So we're announcing it's a normal, what we're saying is a normal phone number, which is 0141356 1972. Is that right?
Yep. And they can join us at Skype at rangersradio.online, Rudy. Yeah, so the boys have done well there.
Done correct, Joe.
Yeah, well done. Well done.
There's Sterling work in the background, there's Fox.
Aye.
And by the way, once they get to jail, we'll need to take turns of going and visit them, you know what I mean? Have I got that right, Fox? Was that right with you? The information you gave me?
That is correct.
All right, well done, mate. Proud of you.
As long as it's cheaper than it was before, that's okay.
Oh, you stop moaning. 1-0 cheaper. He didn't stop, Bridge. Rudy.
I don't know why he's so tight. He's got all that money sitting in the bank as well.
Imagine going to watch his team that he coached score a goal every game and that'll do you, yeah?
I can't know, but I can see his point. You know, it's all about the last 9 games of the season, isn't it?
He knows that, Rudy. He knows that.
It was like that at the start of the season.
Yeah, Bridgeman.
What would you rather have right now, sitting here on a Monday evening? What would you rather have, a 1-0 victory or a 1-each draw?
Hit the nail on the head, Hit the nail on the head, Bridge.
Anyway,
this is such a crucial season for us, guys. Crucial. We've had so many must-win games and we've failed because we can't defend properly.
We can't keep dropping points the way we're, Bridge. We're still continuing to drop their points, and we're not going to make any ground up in them.
No, we ain't. I don't know if this is going to be our season, but I think the managers, it's been a good learning curve for the manager, and hopefully he's learning all the time. Anyway, Bridge, if people want to join us, what's the number?
Oh, the number is 0141 356 1972.
Where else can they join us, Rudy Bear?
You can join us on Skype at rangersradio.online. If you call in, Fox will call you back.
Here. Fox, before we see if there's any callers, give your thoughts on the weekend's events.
Can't say much difference to what's been already said. Defence can't keep the goals out. We seem to get ourselves in front and then throw it away. Both central defenders are guilty of the worst defensive mistake that you can make as a centre back, and that's allowing the ball to bounce, and that has cost us multiple times this season. As Bridge would say, Bridge in it, get it out the park, don't let it bounce, because once you let it bounce, you give the attacker the chance to take the ball off you. That didn't happen in the game against Hibs so much, but we've all seen it all season.
I think the worst example of that was up at Dens Park, mate.
Dens Park,
Dens Park. I think your sentiments are right. Frustrating was the word I would use over the weekend. I know we're obviously pleased with the result on the Saturday, but I think that makes the Friday night result more frustrating. Anyway, we've been joined by the first caller. Evening Blue Star, how are we doing?
Evening Oxshire, evening guys.
How are we doing?
Blue Star.
Well, as I said to you after the game on Friday, I was kind of half scunnered, but after that shower dropped 2 points on Saturday, I've got to be honest, guys. Initially, I was quite happy, and then see when I thought about it, I was even more annoyed because once again we had opportunity, and what did we do? We passed it up, and I'm sorry, guys, I've got to the stage now. I know there's still 9 games to go, and you've still got to hang in there, but we've done it time and time again. And we don't seem to, he keeps saying we're learning, but we don't seem to be learning because it's the same mistakes we keep doing. One, we all said it on Friday night after the game, whether it was Arfield or anybody else, because I'm not going to keep harping on about him, but he should certainly have brought on McCrory or some other defensive midfielder. That was a gimme. And as a manager, we all seen it as pundits, we all seen it as fans, so...
Oh, you calling us pundits?
Sorry, how did Stevie Gino see it, you know? And then, as you said, we need a right good commanding centre half, somebody that's dominant in the air, kicking the ball wherever. To me, the two of them are very similar. I don't think either one of them, and I don't know about Katic because he's not been playing Katic enough, but we need somebody in there that when he goes for a ball, you know he's winning it. You know, like the old stout, the big, rough, tough guy. We don't seem to have it, guys.
You mean what, Darren McGregor plays for Hibs? Is that what you mean?
Oh, no, better than him.
Well, but he's an old-fashioned centre-half, goes for the ball, everything.
Absolutely. We just need... we're still a couple of players too thin.
We're work in progress, mate. Work in progress. I mean, it's frustrating. And by the way, I shared your sentiments about Saturday tea time feeling worse. It annoyed me more.
Absolutely. Do you not think that's what Macaulay was going to be? Because that's what I thought.
Possibly.
Going to
possibly.
Be that. Yeah. Well, big experience, centre back, loads of international caps. Bags of experience for the English Premiership. I thought he was going to come up here and he would just clear that 18-yard box out when required. He doesn't seem to have done that, but then, you know, he said injuries and he's still out with injury just now, isn't he? So that's kind of disappointing. But I agree with you 100%. I still think Bridges said it time and time again. We need a big commanding centre back in the back four there who's just willing to absolutely clear that box out when required, you know, and we don't seem to have that.
No. And the other thing is, guys, I've got to keep reiterating this. We don't seem to be control. Don't get me wrong, the first half, we all know we should have been 4 and 5 goals up comfortably, without any shadow of a doubt. But how many games are we actually controlling for 90 minutes? And I know it's maybe not an easy thing to do. We just don't seem capable of doing it. Now, Bridgeman brought up the point on Friday night, is it a fitness thing? Now, we've got to hold our hands up there and say it can't possibly be a fitness thing because Stevie G just wouldn't handle that. So it's not a fitness thing. It must be psychological.
You say that, mate. If the league games were stopped after 75 minutes, we'd be top of the league, mate.
Well, possibly, yeah, but we have lost a lot of goals in the last 10 minutes.
Our second caller evening GFK, how are we doing, mate?
Evening, chaps. How you all tonight?
How we doing,
Evening,
mate?
Jimmy.
How's it going, Jimmy?
Bridgeside, Blue Star, Fox, and Rudy, and the one and only Ox here. I'm fine, guys. Weather in Glasgow is typical, battering down with rain, but apart from that, I'm brand new. Had a Ray Milland weekend.
Oh, Home Alone.
Lost.
All right.
For you
Thought you were Home Alone.
mature people out there, you know what Ray Milland film that is? The Lost Weekend.
Who's Ray Milland?
You knew his
the
brother.
Home Alone, or
Is he
that
the
was
general
Macaulay-
manager of the Bakers?
Aye,
Was that
very
Macaulay
good.
Culkin that done Home Alone?
Home Alone. Who watches Home Alone? Anyway, guys, we all said this last week, and I hate Friday football because you've got nothing to do the rest of the weekend. I can't disagree with anything you guys have said about the game on Friday night. You know, myself and Blue Star were adamant and about we should have brought on the same bridge, you know, but a defensive midfielder second half, you know, and like Blue Star there, you know, disappointed Mayor that they drew, and that really peed me off. You know, we keep doing it all the time. We have a wee chance. Okay, we were playing first, but I'm still but it's 8 points behind by 27 to play for. But no controversial. But we can't win anywhere in 4 games in a row, guys, and I can't see any reason why we will even do that the rest of the season. There's a lot to play for, obviously, but for me, it's all about the Scottish Cup.
Tomorrow night, I'm sure we'll come to that.
Aye, that's what I'm saying. I think that's the league to me still.
Aye. We're no
It's
favourites, put it
definitely-
that way, GFK.
Aye, you know, but it was disappointing, you know, especially when they got the draw, and so you're thinking, God, there's another chance of going a begging, but we'll see what happens in the next few games. We might be back up the
He
year.
done there, that was
before.
quite clever. Going a begging, I liked that. That was very clever.
Ox, how
Wait a minute,
do
we've been joined by another caller, Blue Star. Very busy this evening. We've been joined by Blue Shadow. Evening, Blue Shadow.
Evening, bud. How we going?
I'm all right, mate. How's your good self?
But still a bit disappointed over after the result on Friday. And the little thing that's concerning me is the fact is how many people think that Paul Heckingbottom's an absolutely fantastic manager. Tactically, must be an absolute masterpiece of a man, because we've got our own. You told me that we've got our own tactical technician, and yet how many times this season has the opposition changed their tactics and we've not been able to change to match it, not even matching up, going man to man against them, and it's cost us goals.
Good
Yeah.
shout.
Yeah.
We didn't react for that 15-minute spell, but the problem with that game on Friday night wasn't the tactics, Blue, in my opinion. The trouble wasn't the first half of the game should have been done.
Well, the first half of the game should be done, but it wasn't. But the
No,
fact was, when they came out the second half, he changed the tactics at half time, and we couldn't react. And it was one-way traffic first half. We had them banker rights produced untold amount of chances. Again, we were very. I agree, we were very wasteful. But that's what happens sometimes. Sometimes their goalkeeper's inspired, or something happens that you didn't get that extra goal. They changed at half time, came out, and we weren't in the game. And it was clear as day to me that this is no looking good. They're coming more and more into this game. We could end up conceding.
It was the Arfield role that gave me problems in Friday Night Blue, and I don't know how you've seen it, because he was playing in that cheating role.
Sorry, mate.
Try to join up with Morelos. When they playing the midfield, it meant that Jack and Kamara were 3 against 2, yeah?
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. That's why I was screaming at the time we want to change them for McCrory for Arfield, because
Do you not think that the players in the park should be wise enough?
Yeah, it should be wise enough. But then again, they've been instructed to play that way, and they do what they're told, or they're knowing the team next week. And it seems
Well, there is that, I suppose. There is that.
And there is, I mean, the case is, the fact is, we've changed it a couple of times, and a lot of other people have been given Stevie Gerrard and his team pelters for trying things out and trying things differently. And the fact is, if and they've always gone back to 4-3-3, whether that's because of the pressure they're getting in the press, I would doubt it. I would think Stevie Gerrard would have enough about him not to do that, or whether it's fear, I don't know. But I'm great. I was very happy the other week when we were 4 goals up, and we decided to change things and try something else. It didn't work. But unless you try it when you get yourselves in that position, then in situations like on Friday night when you need it, you're stuffed.
I think my two wide men flattered to deceive a bit, and Morelos didn't have his best game. Or the piece, but I mean, obviously Kandee scored a great goal, but I accept your point. I'm not saying that anybody played badly in the first half, but when the game started going against us, maybe up to about 60 minutes, that's time to maybe make a substitution,
Absolutely, mate. That's exactly what about when I was thinking, get Arfield off, get somebody else on, and get more men in the midfield to combat this lot. Because it's all very well having 3 men up the top of the park, but if you can't get the ball to them, what use are they?
Can I ask a question, guys? Am I the only person in the world that feels cheated after Friday night? I honestly do. I feel utterly cheated. They should only have the 8 or 9 men on that pitch up to 70 minutes. Seriously, that's disgraceful.
Bridge, I agree with you, right? The referee, they could have easily had 2 players sent off. I totally agree with that. Some of the refereeing decisions again were they're an absolute joke. This is an ongoing thing. This is a game by game thing now. But Bridgeman, we should have had that game won by the second.
I'm not talking about. We've said all that and we agree. We should have scored more goals, most assuredly. There's no way they should have beat us even the way it was. But I'm talking about in particular now. We step away from that. I think they could have had 2 or 3 men sent off dead easy.
The guy Gray had 7 bad fouls before he was even booked.
But
7.
you can that every game though, Blue Star. Sorry, you can
I know that.
Game. You saw the Clancy game against Aberdeen. You saw Kevin Clancy. I mean, couldn't even. I don't even want to start talking about him. To be honest. But see this almost every game. You
watch your blood pressure, Rudy.
Can we come back to the football thing rather than and then deal with the referee thing afterwards? But what more about with the tactical thing? Is it Stevie Gerrard? Is it is assistant manager Gary McAllister, or is it this technical guy that needs replacing?
Michael Beale, is
because I think that's what you told me his name was. But what needs to change? Because quite frankly, there's about 3 or 4 managers now have taken us to the cleaners tactically. And we've got this huge team that we're paying far more than any of them. So what needs to change for me, boys? And then we'll come to your thing about the referees, if you don't think.
Well, if we agree, we'll do that, yeah? Democracy.
Somebody else's teeth in there.
Democracy, we've got on here, Blue Shadow.
I was just say that. We can finish the point that we're on about.
Democracy, the only vote
if
that counts
that's all right,
mine.
I said.
Democracy, the only vote that counts is mine. Right, Bridge, yeah. Oh, JFK, you were a tactical genius, getting brought up in the part of the city you were brought up in.
Yeah, well, everything that Blue Shadow's saying there is 100%. We were saying that after the game on Friday night. Tactically, and you were laughing when I said, I'm just a common man. I watch the football, and I'm sitting watching like everybody else, and I can see that there's something no right there tactically, and I'm a fan, I'm a supporter, I'm a blue nose, and how Stevie Gerrard, Gary McAllister, and what's the guy's name again? You said his name, Michael Beale. So how can they not see that? That there's a change there that should have been made. But we're all crying out, we're all shouting. There was 90s in my house watching the game. And every one to a man was, bring on a defensive midfielder, take Arfield or Jack off. No, we're watching the game and we can see it. Why can they not see it? And what Blue Shadow's saying there is correct. Their new manager, this is only 4 games he's been the manager of the Spoon Burners, and he's no lost yet. He's won 3 and drawn 1. And tactically, he got it right against us. But we're tactically not getting it right in a lot of games, and it is happening too often. We can't finish a game. It's all right playing for 45, 50, 60 minutes, but we don't seem to be able to play for the 90 minutes. The last time we actually played for 90 minutes, guys, for me, and intensely, was we beat The puddle
29th.
drinkers. The 20. You're right,
29th.
Bruce.
Aye, it's
That-
not
that's-
enough, mate. It's not enough.
That is, well, that's what I was going to say to let somebody else come in. That's not enough for any Ox year. Just having to go out and being intense and play well against the puddle drinkers. My season doesn't revolve about beating the puddle drinkers four times a season. I want to win the league, and a lot of Rangers fans don't like it when you say I couldn't care if the puddle drinkers beat us 4 times. As long as at the end of the season the captain of Rangers was holding up a championship trophy. So we need to try. We need to try and get that intensity every game. And we've all been to see Rangers in the past, and that's the way we can play. And it's not happening this season.
All right.
Come in, Ox.
Right, on you go, mate.
Guys, under Delia, we hammered the sheep because they passed up 6 or 7 chances that season where they actually could and should have went in front of them. Yeah. How many times have we actually put them under pressure this season? I'll tell you right now, we haven't. Because every time we've had a chance, we've failed. Now, exactly what you're talking about now, it's only coming to fruition now where we're beginning to talk about. There's been umpteen games where Stevie G, we know he's learning, right? We can't dress that up any other way. We know he's learning. But at the same time, as Jimmy says there, the very start of that second half, you didn't need to be boy genius. It was blooming totally begging for a change. And he didn't do it until 11 minutes to go when we were already drawing the game after letting them back into it. Now, guys, I'm sorry. Thingby's right there. You've got McAllister and you've got the other guy there. Surely one of them should have turned around and said to him, look, it looks as if they're really getting tapped here. Everybody in their granny, every one of us could see they were going to go up that park. We knew we were going to let in a goal. We knew it was coming because it's happened to us time and time again this season. And he still didn't make the change. Why not? If it's evident to everybody else, then why is it not evident to they 3? That's questions that they need to be asked.
But that's the trouble. We can't answer.
I know that. But you know what I mean.
I think it was yourself there that said he's learning, and he is learning, but it's a big job, and maybe he's underestimated Scottish football.
Well, Ox, there's one he came out with right away after that game, and I forgot to mention it on Friday night, and it baffled me. He mentioned to the press that Arfield was carrying a knock. That's why he took him off with 11 minutes to go. Well, I'm sorry. The first thing a decent pressman would have said to him, is that right, Stevie? Well, everybody in the ground could see that he was playing really poorly the whole of the second half. Why did you wait so long? And why was he on the park in the first place if he was carrying a knock? I'm sorry, guys. He keeps telling us what a squad.
You'll not be getting a Christmas gift for Scott Arfield, poster.
But he keeps telling us we've got 2 players for every position, guys. If somebody's really struggling, you've got to take them off. It doesn't matter who it is.
Well, it's about getting substitutions as part of the game, the modern game now.
Of course it is. And it's about getting 3 points, which we didn't do.
Reg?
Yes, pal.
Substitutions, it's part of modern football.
Well, 100%, and we need to use it and utilise it properly. It's to me like everyone is see it. We're not daft. We've been watching Rangers for years. I love this manager. I think he's a great manager, and he's probably a super coach. He's confident that his players should be able to play as we did in the first half, right through 90 minutes. Well, he's starting to see, in all probability, he's got upset a couple of times as well. He's starting to see that it's not going to happen, as Mr. Warburton did as well. It's not going to happen for 90 minutes. We're not going to be able to do that. We need to cut our cloth accordingly. We had a superb first half where we didn't put the ball in the net enough, and to me, it didn't look as if we were going to score again. And at that point there, at half-time, he must have, somewhere along the line, somebody should have said to him, or indeed he's either thought about it and ignored it. He should have started to think defensively. We need to be more defensive in the second half, because time after time we seem to lose our way a wee bit in the second half at various times. But we had a couple of chances in the second half too, so we're not taking too much away. But seriously, we should never have come back out with the same team. Never. I'm only talking through hindsight now. And hindsight tells us, in all probability, you should have took Arfield away. He probably starting to...
I wouldn't have changed anybody at half time when they've come into that dressing room, Blue Star, after the first half performance. Would you?
I get your point, Ox, a day, but 10 minutes in, I definitely, because they started really getting in tap. And that's when he should have changed. If we're not going to win the game, then he's got to close up shop and make sure we don't lose any goals. Is what Bridgman's been saying since Friday. They were pumping big high boys and we weren't winning them.
He's been saying that since August. Blue Shadow. Too many blues in here. Blue Shadow. At half time, I'm not changing anybody unless there's anybody we're not. The way we played the first half.
Absolutely not. No. I totally agree with Blue Star there. About 10 minutes into the second half, I'd have been going, this is no going well. I'd have been preparing a change and looking at, if it doesn't change in the next 5 minutes, then I'm going to bring on Ross McCrory for Arfield would have been my change. And it's not a matter of thinking more defensively for me. It's a thing of being more combative in midfield, because that's just the way the game was going. And it's a way that we've seen it so many times, whereby the way to stop a 4-3-3 is to load the midfield and stop the ball getting forward. It seems it was the same was done to Warburton. The first thing they did, play 5 in midfield, stop that supply to the front people, and it worked. And it seemed to work then. It seems to be working now for me. Perhaps if you want to change it, you would go to 4-4-2 and change your shape as well. But the thing is, they keep saying we'll learn from this. How many times has this happened now this season? And he doesn't appear to be learning from it at all. And for whether that makes him a good manager or not, only time will tell. I'm sticking with him at the minute, but I'm starting to get more and more worried about it, because this has happened several times this season, and it's cost us points several times this season.
Rudy Bear.
He doesn't seem to have. I don't know. I get the thing that he's a young manager. He's inexperienced. He's a young manager. He's learning as he goes. But he's got to learn quicker, Ox. Come on. We could, Jimmy and Blue Star and Blue Shadow, everybody said that. We could all see on Friday night. We were screaming out for a change on Friday, 10 minutes into that second half. I agree with you. Come half time, you're thinking, we battered them. All right, we shouldn't have scored as many goals as we should have done, but we've battered them. Let's go and do the same thing in the second half. We'll get the win. Didn't transpire that way, but it's, Blue Shadow and that was saying, 10 minutes into that second half, you've got to be looking at making a change. Arfield, once again, poor. I thought Ryan Jack was poor as well, in all honesty. I'd have looked at the midfield, certainly looked at that midfield. McCrory would have been on for me, for a shadow of a doubt, and it would probably been Arfield I would have taken off. But he's not doing this. And I think against Aberdeen and all, did we even make a substitution against Aberdeen? No, we didn't. No, why no? It's the quarter-final of the Scottish Cup at Pittodrie. If you get the opportunity to sneak a goal and win the game, it's worthwhile chucking a substitute or two on. He didn't even make a substitution against Aberdeen, which I thought was just totally nonsensical. I couldn't get that at all. And the same on Friday night. You could see 10 minutes into that second half that they were coming into the game. They had changed their shape. They had 3 in midfield. Even if you go toe-to-toe with them in the midfield, and take them on in the midfield. I've said it time and time and time again, Ox. The midfield is where you win and lose games. If you lose the midfield, 9 times out of 10, you'll lose the game. Right? So you think they would know that. They must have been able to see it. So why doesn't he make these changes? And why, whenever he does make them, he doesn't make them soon enough? I don't know. I haven't got a clue. Ox.
Good to know that you're admitting that good players play in midfield, mate. So,
Rudy, you're a rat doing that.
Sorry, Bridge, I slipped up. I didn't mean it. Slipped up, Bridge, man. Sorry.
Yeah. I accept your point. Very frustrating. Blue Shadow is a frustration coming for ifs, buts, and maybes, and where we could have been, where we should have been, and that's a frustration.
No, I can't speak for other people, but it's no for me that everybody knows that the fact is, if the team's out there and putting in, a performance and battling and giving their all, and, you're in the game and you lose by the odd goal or whatnot. I think myself, I can live with that, and I'm sure most Rangers fans can live with that. It's disappointing, but that's just it happens now and again. But when it was, as I say, there's so many of them, it's clear that something needed doing, and it's the total inaction and the inability to deal with these situations that frustrates me more than anything else with that. It's no the lost points. It's no the fact we might, I was hoping we might get the league this year with the way things at Christmas time. I wasn't expecting it at the start of the season. But it's no that because the guys. It's his first season in. He's had to change a lot of things. It takes time to get players together and all the rest of it. But if he's no learning now and he's only got 10 games, is he going to be ready to do it next season? I'm not so sure anymore.
Well, Star is the problem with your system with this 4-3-3. We've got the two wide men, and it's pretty inflexible. It goes 4-5-1, 4-3-3, depending when you've got the ball. But the wide men don't often they play a certain role, so you're stuck with them.
Oh, you've hit the nail on the head. Half roads there. When he plays 4-3-3, the three that he plays in midfield, he usually plays Arfield further forward, right? Which effectively you're playing with two in midfield. That doesn't work against an organised team, and you don't even need to have the best players in that organised team. If you've got two men up against a minimum of 4 or 5, doesn't matter how good you are, you're beat. And that's his problem. If he plays Arfield, he's got to make sure either he plays with a sweeper behind the three in midfield, or else he's got to tell Arfield to hang back. And that's no Arfield's game. We know it's no. Therefore, a lot of the time, I feel the two wingers, obviously, they're on the pitch to try and get forward. We know Candace comes back. That's one thing the wee guy does. He's got a great engine.
He did very well on Friday, by the way.
I know that. And that was ironic as well, because his crossing was absolutely dire, and yet look at the way he could curl that ball in. It was amazing. Exactly. So, yeah, you've got a great point there. If he plays three in midfield, I feel he's got to make sure they three are as a unit across the park, across that middle line, and we've not been doing that. Therefore, a lot of the times, most teams are playing 4 against 2 of our players in midfield, because, as I say, the wingers are trying to bomb forward. So, therefore, you're limited in midfield because you're really playing with 2 players. And it's all right, us thinking, well, we're playing sometimes a 4-5-1. No. We very, very rarely have 5 guys across the middle of that park. Never. Because the 2 wingers are always forward. Do you know what I mean? So you're really playing with 2 guys in the middle a lot of the time. And with the best will in the world, unless you're playing with 2 superstars in the middle of the park, if you're up against 4 and 5 guys against you, you're going to get beat to the ball most times. And that's what's happening. And again, I come back to the fact that Bridgman's bang on when he's talking about the defenders. We need a big powerhouse in there. We definitely do. We can all see it. But don't get me wrong, Stevie G must see that himself. He must be working on it. But I do agree with Blue Shadow. To a certain extent, he said the same problem seems to be arising time and time again, and it's really hurting us. In fact, if we're being perfectly truthful, let's be honest, see where we are now. We've actually done better than we're probably giving them credit for, simply because of the mistakes that we are doing. As I say, I would love to see that other share with a bit of pressure on them, because we've not been able to do it. And I just feel if we could get a couple of points, I'm telling you, they can fall. You better believe they can fall, because they're the one in front of their so-called great manager on Saturday. But the best will in the world, they had a full house. They couldn't win. They never even looked like winning the game, to be honest. So there you go. We need to be more compact. We need to win games, and we certainly need to play far more games at 90 minutes, because we've just not done it anywhere near enough.
Can I just come in briefly? See about the 4-3-3. I was just thinking about it just now, because I watched the Liverpool highlights the other day. They play a 4-3-3 system, which is what Gerrard's basing his system on. Now, I'm not sure if he's going a totally different way with the front three or not, but I did notice that the likes of the front three for Liverpool, they play a hell of a lot narrower than our lads. I mean, you notice when our three, Candace is getting white paint on his boots on one side, and Kent's the same on the other. If you look at the front three, they're really narrow. All their width is coming from that lad Robertson coming up the left-hand side, and I can't mind the guy that's coming up the right-hand side, and that's where their width is coming from.
English international, isn't he, with a double barrel name?
But that's a totally different system to what we're playing, which means that basically their strikers getting support for their striker and more men in the box far faster than we are. For me.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't say we pounded Hibs' goalkeeper. What we done was we pounded their final third on Friday, Jimmy. and we just couldn't. We just kept making the wrong decision, which I found very frustrating.
Yeah, you're right there, Ox. Yeah, it was frustrating. You know, the goalkeeper had nothing to do, really. You know, and we should have pounded him. Fred had one of his quieter nights. It was really frustrating because they were there for the taking. But the Candyman's goal was a world-class goal, and I thought, here we go. We're more than capable of scoring another 2 or 3 here. But we imploded on ourselves again, as we've shot ourselves in the foot again, as we always seem to do. You know, and it was disheartening to watch. You know, just about Blue Shadow and Blue Star was saying there. You know, anybody that couldn't see in the first 5 minutes of the second half that we needed a change, and I think that would have dominated the game after that. But for whatever reason, he didn't want to do. But it was sad to see the way we performed. You know, at times. But we've got the personnel there that can put the ball in the net, and but Fred wasn't getting the distribution that he should have been getting. He wasn't getting the service, so he didn't seem to be in the game at all. The new signing of the contract didn't seem to do him any good. I thought he'd have been up for it, but he wasn't. So, it was no. Especially after it, I don't know what to keep going on about the result on Saturday, but especially what happened. We were all here down Friday night, saying that's us, the league's gone, and then that happens on the Saturday. So we shot ourselves again, and that is really galling to take.
Yeah.
That sticks in my throat, and what sticks in my throat is that we keep defending the manager, and rightly so. We should defend him, but at the same time, he shouldn't be immune for criticism. And some of the decisions he's made, guys, this season has been quite baffling substitution-wise. You know. So he's going to take the plaudits, but he's also going to take any thingy for the fans with us guys that are criticising him.
Critique on here, James.
Definitely, critique's okay. Don't boo him, but
a question to JFK. Did you think that the substitution on Friday to put Sligan on Jermaine Defoe with 11 minutes to go smacked to desperation?
Of course it did.
Yeah,
of course
absolutely.
It did, Blue Shadow. We were saying that on Friday night. I mean, the first 5 minutes is a change that he should have brought on a defensive midfielder, and I myself say I'd have taken Fred off. He wasn't at the races. Was he going to go a 4-4-2? I don't know. Was he going to go a 3-5-2? But he should have done something to try and put a bit of impetus into the game.
Yeah, definitely, Jimmy, definitely.
It was really sad to watch us play like that, and it's something that we've done. Quite a few games this season, guys, and I think we've all been critical of that. And long may Steven Gerrard be the manager of Rangers, but sometimes I wonder, is it him or is it the guys he's got behind him who's not giving us the good advice? Does he take that advice? We don't know, because we're not privy to that. But
no, Jimmy, he's a world-class football player, the guy. You think he'd be able to see what was happening on the park himself, you know. I mean, obviously, he's got Michael Beale and he's got Gary McAllister there beside him. But you think he'd see what was happening himself. The guy was a world-class football player, you know.
Well, I don't know. I mean, none of us are. I mean, I don't know what guys out there played football to a reasonable level. I know the Bridgeman did that, you know, as far as I know. But, look, we can all see it, Rudy.
Yeah.
We're all sitting watching it, mate. And if we can see it, how can he not see it?
Oh,
you know, and when he made that comment about Arfield about being injured, that's why he took him off, you know. As Blue Star said, to me that's no good. And as Blue Shadow said, the substitution smacked to desperation. I mean, we were all shouting at the same as everybody else to bring somebody else on to try and win the game. But the 1-0 in the game is no win. You know, that's your biggest problem. You know, and it's the more night. I'm more concerned now about the more night is how he sets that out. He's got to set it out better.
I'm sure
we will come to that, mate. But that just comes on to it. He needs to have a wee bit more tactical nous about him. And if for whatever reason he doesn't seem to have that now.
I'll come back to a point that all the players let them do, because obviously he would argue that the first half he's setting them up tactically that they should be that far out of sight that they could have played with 2 men in the second half and still win again. Because if that had been a boxing match, Blue Star, it would have been stopped after half an hour.
Absolutely, and you're bang on there. But at the same time, Ox, if you're watching that 10 minutes in, and I know 10 minutes isn't a lot, but sometimes it is if you're not on the ball. If you're watching that 10 minutes in and you see them getting the better of our midfield and starting to penetrate us, then the simple solution is you've got to bring on, as everybody's been saying, a defensive guy in the middle of the park. Now, he gave it another half an hour. Guys, that's baffling. It's bizarre. It's bizarre in the extreme. There's not one of us could turn around and say, you would have left it the exact same as what he did to bring on Defoe. None of us would have. We've got to be honest here. So you're saying to yourself, well, what on earth was his thinking? Did he honestly think our midfield were then going to step up another gear to overrun the ones that were overrunning us? Because that was never going to happen. As the game went on, they were penetrating us even more.
I think once they get the goal, we've got to go a bit gun-ho and it becomes a bit easier for them, doesn't it?
Absolutely, which is why he brought on Defoe then. But at the same time, Ox, that could have been prevented if he brings on another player who, well, put it this way, look at the last time we played the Dons when he played McCrory, and goodness sake, I couldn't believe the amount of runs McCrory was doing, getting the ball in midfield. He was the one that was running forward all the time, and he had a brilliant game against the Dons on game, and that wasn't that long ago. So again, why did they not bring him on and do that?
Fox is want to come in. He's got some points to make. Fox, and you come, mate. Well,
that's a surprise. I was just timed he's in the lobby. We were comparing Rangers at the moment, Steven Gerrard's tactics with Liverpool. It took Klopp's a great international manager, mate, well renowned throughout Europe, and it took him 2 years to get it right at Liverpool. And Steven Gerrard is following the same sort of thing. We're getting the attacking right, but it'll take that change in personnel and in the defence to get it right at the back. It'll not be done in a short amount of time. And changing tactics and our summing up, you should have done this, you should have done that. Mate, he only put on Defoe when we were drawing one each. It wasn't a desperation thing. It was a case he knew he had to win the game then. We were comfortable before they scored. I thought myself that we were playing within ourselves, but still managing to keep Hibs at bay. They got a chance, they took it. Let's just leave it at that. The manager's doing well.
We're not saying the manager's not doing well, Fox. What we're saying is we don't have 2 years. But mate, look, this is Rangers we're talking about. I don't care about what he done at Liverpool. Right, he was a Liverpool legend, and what Klopp's done at Liverpool. Right, the fact of the matter is, if the same continues next season, right, are we still going to be sitting here saying, give him a chance? There's nobody bigger than Rangers, right? Rangers is so, I mean, there will come a time if he doesn't get it right, then there will be people asking for things to be changed. For me, though, if he doesn't win something this season,
miles short of that, GFK, miles.
Jimmy, we've been going 7 months here, mate.
No,
and in that time, we've had a run in Europe. We're still in the cup and still in a reasonable position in the league. For people to start saying he doesn't know what he's doing tactically is wrong. He's not got the time during the week to work on so much at Okinawa, mate, because it's keeping players fit and keeping them ticking there with the run of games we've had this season going through the Europa, and then we're playing like Sunday, Wednesday, etc. every second week, mate. Give them time. Nobody will turn around a club in 7 months, mate, especially when we're fighting against a mob who are outspending us, and most of the time have got better players than we've got. Give them time, mate.
Of course, we're going to give him. I totally agree with that, but we must give him time. I mean, I'm not calling for him to be sacked. I'm saying he's got to get at least to the end of next season. But come the end of next season, I know Oxy's saying I don't look forward, but of course you've got to look forward. Because if he continues
Not
to
your
do
age,
his
mate. You've just got to take one day at a time, mate.
Of
Come on.
course, aye, but if
Yeah.
he doesn't get it right, we might not be saying this tomorrow night if he does the same thing tomorrow night.
No,
So
no, it could all change.
well, that's what I'm saying. So it's worth talking about. Tactically, at the moment, he doesn't look as if he's up for it, but he needs to get it sorted out. And
Would
has it
you
happened-
said that after 45 minutes, Jimmy? That he wasn't getting it
No.
right.
No,
it was,
no, I agree with you there, but that's not the first time that's happened in a game this season, folks. You know that, and you've said that yourself. A lot of the games we played for 45 minutes in the second half. We were mince. So we need to do something to stop that happening. You know, we know that the league's still there for us to win. I don't think it's going to happen for us, but I hope I'm proved wrong. But he needs to. I mean, I still think the desperation to bring Defoe in, and I still think, like everybody else, that he should have brought on a defensive midfielder in the second half. Not just at that game. There's various other games that he's made tactical errors, but we've gave him the benefit of the doubt. So we will get behind him when we are behind him. But
Well, at the
All
same,
right, so if
same,
anybody-
same
anybody-
time, just to finish this off, at the same time, we totally destroyed them in the first half, winning 1-0. If he'd have changed it, took Hartfield off and brought McCrory on, and we would only get beat 2-1, what would you have been saying?
Aye,
You never
but
got the
that's-
tactics right. It's all
aye.
right saying it after the event, mate.
Of course it is, but that's why we're here to discuss it. We're all critiquing it. Right, I understand that. We could have get beat, but we didn't. We could have won, but we didn't. So that's why we're all here discussing it, how everybody feels as individuals and collectively, that we feel that tactically it's not working at times. So he's got this season and the rest of next season, the whole of next season to sort it, and then questions could be asked.
It's not having a go at him, Fox, because he's come out himself 2 or 3 times now, and he's saying it was him at the go that rang. So it's not having a go at him. Nobody
That's
wants
all-
him sacked.
that's
No
all
chance.
Can I come in there, Ox?
Wait a minute,
Also,
one
as
at a
well-
time, one at a time. Can I just say that it'd be interesting to hear from anybody out there if they want to join us? Get different thoughts for the majority of the panel. The number's 0141 356 1972. You can call us on landlines and mobiles for within the UK. If you're out with the UK, join us at Skype at rangersradio.online. Get yourself a mute, lads. We're going to have a tune, and we'll come right back to Blue Shadow and Blue Star. was just getting into that there, Bridge, waiting for another couple of minutes.
Same here. It's really good, that one. It's really good.
What were you doing? Were you more a dashing white sergeant there rather than Gay Gordons?
Probably Gay. I'm a dashing white sergeant person, boy.
All right, okay. Sorry, Blue Star and then Blue Shadow, you were both want to come in there just before the tune? On you go, boys.
I was just saying that there's nobody really having a go at Stevie G. None of, I don't think any of us are. It's just a case of you've seen certain mistakes. For me, Friday night's game, I'm being truthful. I totally disagree with Foxy when he said he didn't think we weren't really in any danger in the second half. Well, I thought the exact opposite. I seen them coming into the game after 5 minutes of the second half, and I'd seen it so many times this season before. You knew that somewhere along the line they were going to go up that part and get a goal because we had been all over them in the first half and never put the ball in the net. And it's happened time and time again. And I just think it was glaringly obvious he had to change the midfield and to kind of stem the flow a bit. And he certainly didn't do that. And I think that was our downfall. Plus the fact our downfall was the first half with missing so many chances. That's it. Coming into the tomorrow night's game, I'd love to just see us control a game for 90 minutes, guys. I really would.
Keep your powder dry now. Keep your powder dry. Blue Shadow.
All right. By the way, so next time you're doing, look at the back of the blue buses when you're doing. It says Blue Star right across them. What it says about things, I don't know, but that's another thing altogether.
Back in there, but
I couldn't possibly say that. But anyway, yeah, Blue Star's next one of one of the points I was going to make. The other one was, how can we not work on things in between games just because we've had a game 3 days previously? So you're saying the first team can't do things that the 17-year-old laddies were doing when they won the Alcast Cup then? Because that's what they were doing. They had a game every 2 or 3 days.
I think in reality, and with the pros now, mate, rightly or wrongly, they play a game, they come in the next day for a rub, basically. Then they have a day off, and usually, but obviously, they'll be in the day working on 3 set pieces and that and getting ready because they'll not be working on any fitness at this time of the season. And
no, they're not working on fitness and everything, but these young laddies, what they were saying, they were in the classroom all day working on things, and on the board, this guy does this guy does that, and they were, and being ready for them. And you're not saying that they play those, especially that Roma side, didn't have some good young laddies in it they had to watch out for, and they were working on that all day while they were resting. And I think it's about time that some of our first team got some of the same sort of commitment to the cause, as it were.
I think an all Blue Shadow is. If you look back to having to play games in midweek, see if they'd have done the job first time round in the Cup against Kilmarnock, they wouldn't have had a midweek game there. See if they'd have done the job properly against Aberdeen at Pittodrie last week in the Cup, they wouldn't have had another midweek game this week, you know what I mean? So in a way, they're kind of bringing it on themselves, When we went the 14-game run in Europe, don't get me wrong, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great to be back in Europe. Never thought for a minute we'd get into the group section of the Europa League. He did. Steven Gerrard got us there with the players. I thought it was fantastic for us. But the excuse for dropping points in the league back with them was the amount of travelling that was having to be done. Games midweek, tough games. I got that. I understood that. That excuse is gone now. And they're still doing the same thing. They got the 29th, they battle with them in a 1-0 win, but they absolutely battered them. They go to Spain for a month. They have a great time in Spain, getting a bit of terrain, a bit of sun in their back. And the first game back against Kelly, they get beat 2-1. No good enough. Simple as that. No good enough.
When you come, Bridge?
I was just going to say, the first half in against Hibs, particularly Easter Road, horrible night, by the way. Absolutely shocking night. That game could have been easily postponed because of a waterlogged pitch but just before the game. However, they got through it. But our team, very proud of our team in the first half, played absolutely outstanding football at times. Just no luck. Their luck in front of goal just deserted them. The Hibs did, as I say, take my hat off to them. They dived at everything, I'm sure there was a couple of incidents there. There was a potential handball, or there was a potential penalty because of handball, and I don't know why we never got it. Overall, the 90 minutes, And just after half time, you could see the difference. They moved up 5 yards, filled the hole in the midfield, and they started getting the second ball. And when they got the second ball, we didn't know what to do against them because we ended up with 3 men behind them or 2 men behind them while they were advancing instead of being in front of them. That kind of thing. Simple stuff. It's all right for me saying simple stuff. It's a different game when you're watching for the side and you're running it. But seriously, I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased that we got to the end of that game and came away with a point because really and truly, they really could have beat us. They really could have. Their luck was on their side. The referee was on their side. And I'm not saying that just for badness. He really was on their side. He certainly wasn't ours. We get nothing off him from our perspective. They need that guy, Gray. I said to before the game, we need to watch out for him. Most assuredly, one of the dirtiest players I've ever seen in a game of football. Really, really animal that Ian. And he showed it twice or 3 times. He showed it. And I can't understand why we don't get these decisions because they could have 2 men sent off. Then the game would have been finished long before they scored.
They could have done. McGregor could have been sent off easily for his coming together with Morelos in the first few minutes. Anyway, we've been joined by Boswell. Evening, boys. How we doing, mate?
Good evening, boys.
I'm very well, thank you. System, is it working well for you, mate?
What system is that?
They have to ring you back on Skype? Or?
That's whatever works. It's nothing to do with me, mate. It's just the system, how it is. No, I'm happy with
that's
whatever.
How it works, boys, but that's
no, it doesn't matter how it works, just that it does.
What's on your mind, mate?
I think we're becoming a bit hysterical about all of this. We're 7 months into Stevie G's reign, and we've got people telling us that he's get to the end of next season before people start really examining him. People have been examining Steven Gerrard since the day and minute he walked into Ibrox. There's never ever a time in this club where this club is never under scrutiny, particularly from its own. Never mind what happens through any other channels. It's Rangers supporters that are the hardest taskmasters. We're always said this all through the banter years. We always still felt we're Real Madrid or Barcelona. And I think sometimes we really need to step back and have a reality check. The
game started, boys.
Well, exactly. That's what I mean. Is that we think we should win all the time. And we cannot understand why we don't. And we cannot understand why Steven Gerrard, he's a top-class player. He should be able to come in and bang, that's it, finished. It's not just as simple as that. Football, since we left the top flight in 2012 and came back in 2016, and now the game has changed because we have got teams that think that we are easy pickings. You look at Hibs on Friday night there. One of their fans suddenly decided that we're a soft touch. In 2016, they thought we were a soft touch. Why? Because no one stands up. Not even our own club. Our club should have been out on Friday night before Leanne Dempster hit the newsstands and said, this is outrageous and we're being treated differently from everybody else, and supporters of other clubs tend to think that we're a soft touch as a support. And it's not true. Absolutely not true. But it's about time the club started to come out and support this really heavily. You've heard. I know this is away from the game, yeah, but the game's done.
Piece, but you carry on, mate.
The game's done, and we drew. We had the chances in the first half to win about 3 games, but just weren't good enough. Too many players, but that evolution will happen. We'll get better. Come the summertime, I'm sure. I have no doubt whatsoever that Mark Allen and his team and Stevie G and his team are working tirelessly as long as it takes to bring in the right players for Stevie G to be a success. Because as I've always said on here, Stevie G is being groomed as the next Liverpool manager. Whether we like it or not, that's a fact. And he sees that as a bigger job than us, but he's got to do this job first to give him a chance at getting that job. And so if he's successful with us, which I fully expect him to be, he'll get the job he wants.
Can I come in there, Ox?
On you go, mate.
Boss, well, that's a great speech you're making there, right? But the fact of the matter is, you're making a speech as if we're not allowed to criticise Stevie Gerrard. And that's
Jimmy, I never said that at all.
No, but I'm on the floor now. But what you said there at the start, that we're not allowed to come in and say that, no, about the end of next season, that's my opinion. But that's not just my opinion. That's the thousands who go and see Rangers. Do you know what's wrong with Rangers fans? Right, see anybody that dares to criticise the management, we're deemed not to be Rangers fans, and that's wrong. I've been going to see Rangers since 1966, right? So it doesn't make me an any better fan than somebody who's only been going to see them since 1996 or 2016. But the fact of the matter is, it's there to be shot down. That he's the man in charge, and we're allowed to criticise him. You've come on there as if we're all wanting Steven Gerrard to be sacked.
I don't think I said that or inferred that. No, I don't think I said that or inferred that.
You said that we're getting hysterical and we shouldn't be thinking about the end. He's got to the end of next season.
Well, that's what you said, wasn't it?
I did say that. He has got to the end of next season.
Says but the thing about Jimmy, no, Jimmy, I can completely understand.
Are you trying to tell me that if Rangers don't win anything by the end of next season, you'll be happy with Steven Gerrard there? It's a hypothetical question, and that's what we're here talking about.
It's a decision I have no control over, Jimmy.
Same as me. So what I'm saying is, my point is that if Steven Gerrard doesn't get it right by the end of next season, meaning if we don't have one trophy in the cabinet by the end of next season, well, we just need to use the word, he's a failure then. Because I'm a Rangers fan the same as you, and I want to see Rangers win trophies. So if Steven Gerrard doesn't do that by the end of next season, then he's a failure.
Do we sack him then, Jimmy? And do we sack him then and rip it up and do it again?
But we're not talking about sacking.
No, I'm asking you a question. At that point, do we stop it all?
If the fans aren't happy, right, and we're not winning it, and so we just continue on, and we pay our £480 to £550 every season to go and see Rangers without winning a trophy. I was there the same as yourself, Boswell, when the all 9 in a row, when the Pearl drinkers are winning everything. But at least we were still winning a cup every now and again. Right? So he's got, for me, personally, he's got this season and next season. And if we don't see an improvement in the team for the end of next season, then I think we seriously need to look and see if there's somebody out there that can take us to the next step. I'm hoping that it's going to be Steven Gerrard. I hope we win the Scottish Cup this season. I love us to win the double.
Did you agree with the club giving him a 4-year contract?
Yes, I do.
So why not halfway through, would you be quite happy to see him go?
Did I say that?
You saying that after the end of next season, questions will be asked, and at that point we think Steven Gerrard's a failure. That's what you've just said.
If he doesn't win anything, he must go.
Can I come in there?
Well, yeah, on you go.
I think that most people in here have been totally balanced. I mean, we lauded Steven Gerrard quite thoroughly when they were getting through to the group stages of the UEFA game, the European run that he went on. The fact is, we criticised him over one thing in particular, and that is his ability to change tactics when other managers have changed them and loaded the midfield, and I don't think he has even once managed to overcome that this season. I may well be wrong, but not once comes to memory where he has managed to deal with that this season. And yes, I did say that it was a desperate move to bring on Jermaine Defoe without changing anything else, because the fact is that we've tried Defoe a couple of times up with Morelos and it hasn't worked. So it didn't look like anything to change, and all it was like, oh, go and get us a goal, Jermaine, and save my bacon, basically. And that's what it did. That's what it looked like for me. Yes, we all know he's been groomed to be Liverpool manager, and I have no doubt that overall. But if you think back to when Steven Gerrard was playing at Liverpool, then he actually struggled until such time as they brought in Gally McAllister behind him to pull the strings and push Steven Gerrard further forward. So what's going on behind the scenes? I don't know, because we're not privy to that information, as many other people have said. So I think that people have been generally very fair overall. We've certainly lauded Steven Gerrard, but recently, with these mistakes that he appears to be making, for me, I can only speak for myself, then I think that he deserves some of the criticism that's been coming his way.
Well, it's all about opinions, lads. And
absolutely.
Friday night's gone. We're building up to a big game tomorrow night. So get yourself on mute and we'll hear from your manager, Steven Gerrard, MBE.
this is dominating the news agenda at the moment in football, which is not what anyone wants to see. Do you feel there's a point coming whereby we might see players refusing to play until the authorities sort this out?
I don't know is the answer to your question, because I don't know what players are going to be thinking and the concerns of individual players and teams across the board. My concern is obviously the safety of my own players, and I'm confident that they're going into the game tomorrow night, that the security will be on the toes to make sure that there's not a similar incident. But there's been a case over the last 2-3 weeks where I've been coming into these press conferences and not really talking about football, which is a bigger concern. We're talking about fan behaviour, stuff getting through on the pitch, people entering the pitch and striking players, which is a huge concern. And for the image of the game, it's not right at all.
What as a management team can you do to make sure the players feel safe?
Well, I think we will obviously, in dialogue and contact with the security and the stewards at the ground, or people around me, will be in contact with them to, just make sure that both sets of players, both sets of coaching staffs are safe when we go out onto the pitch to do our work. That's the only thing we can do. But fans have to take responsibility and think before they do these type of things, because if it continues, someone's going to get hurt and hurt badly, and no one wants it to get to that stage.
The referees, obviously, their main concern is the safety of players on the pitch. Would you, as a manager, if you felt concerned, would you be prepared to take your team off the pitch?
Yes, of course. If the situation, if there was a situation that I thought that was necessary to do, yeah, what we'd do is we'd speak to the police and the officials on the day, and we'd make a collective decision. But it's certainly a decision I'd support if any of the players, my players or opposition players, were at risk, of course.
And just finally on this, I mean, the issue of strict liability has been talked about, and they're talking about it in England in terms of the fact that clubs would be punished for the behaviour of their own supporters. I think everyone in football agrees that is not. I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I think that the police should come out and say the next person to enter a pitch without permission, like for example yesterday, gets a very, very strict sentence in jail.
You come to a game.
The only way to stop.
You come to a game like the one tomorrow. Obviously, it's a rivalry. Your hope that is after the game. All you're talking about is the action that's happened on the pitch between the players.
Well, to be fair to both sets of supporters, we've played this fixture a lot recently, and I'm not aware of any fan problems in terms of entering the pitch and stuff. I think both sets of fans have behaved pretty normal, and we've had some excellent games of football. Hopefully we get another one tomorrow. It's obviously a massive game with the Hampden semi-final at stake. I assume it's the type of game that you don't need to explain to your players the significance of it. No, I think they know. I think any game against Aberdeen is always huge. I think the message for me is forget the semi-final. We've got a big, tough challenge smacking us in the face tomorrow. We need to go and perform at a level that's capable of getting us the right result. I think it'd be very naive of the players to be thinking about Hampden. We've got a job to do at Ibrox first and foremost. When you play a team so regularly, like you have done with Aberdeen this season, how does that change your preparation going into the games? It doesn't. We just prepare for a good Aberdeen team, a team that's been very effective on the road of late, and we do our normal preparation. We give the players a game plan, and we show them Aberdeen's strengths and weaknesses, and then we go out and prepare and focus on ourselves to make sure that we try and get the level of performance that we're looking for. Why do you think they've been so successful away from home when their home results have been pretty poor recently? I don't know. I haven't analysed them home and away form really, but they're an effective team. You know, it suits them to sit in and be organised and have men behind the ball. They follow man to man in certain areas, and they've got players within their team that are quick on the counter attack. So I don't know, maybe their style is maybe suited at the moment to play away from home. We'll be aware of that. But we won't change in any way. You know, we always focus the majority of our preparation on ourselves and trying to improve us. But I don't think the players need any extra drilling in terms of what Aberdeen are about. They should know by now. We've played them enough, and these players are, they're quite bright.
On the game itself, all the top fan behaviour, don't want that to detract from what will be, I'm sure we'll get.
I think we've covered all the fan behaviour stuff now in the interview.
In terms of the game tomorrow, the atmosphere, you want to encourage your fans to be, that raucous atmosphere.
I don't think I have to encourage that. That's a given. I think Aberdeen at home, full house with the opportunity to go to a semi-final. I think it's pretty standard that the fans are going to turn up and take the roof off. I don't think I have to encourage that in the media. They'll be there. They'll be with us. They've been with us since day one, so that won't change.
A good reward as well to reward those fans by going to Ham for the semi-final. If that was to be the case.
That's got to be in the players' thinking. That's the pressure you play at Rangers. That's the pressure you should embrace and love and be excited about. It's a fantastic game under the lights against a big rival for the chance to go into the last four. That's mouth-watering for me, and it should be for the players.
Alfredo Morelos been in and around the place with his new contract. Has been even more excited than that's been.
No, he's just been Alfredo. He loves playing football. He loves coming to work. I think he's said that on record of late. I'm sure he's pleased and grateful of the club looking after him, because I think the club have been very good to Alfredo. We're hoping he continues his excellent form. Really looking forward to, watching him from now till the end of the season to see if he can add to his numbers, because he's been scoring freely.
Sam Cosgrove is obviously suspended for Aberdeen. He's been a key player for them over the past few months. How do you feel his absence maybe affects the game? Does that maybe count as a slight bonus for yourselves that he's not involved?
Well, he's a good player, and he's scoring as well. He's a player in form. He's a big profile up there, so of course he's a good player, and I'm sure Aberdeen are disappointed he's missing. In terms of us, we focus on our players and the availability of us. Aberdeen have got good players. They're quite strong in that forward area, so I'm sure they've got a suitable replacement, whatever Derek decides to do. But I'm not going to sit here and say how happy I am that a player's missing, because that's not what type of manager I am. I worry about my players and the availability of mine, and we're in a healthy position, so I'm pretty pleased.
Can I get any team news? Is there any players in or out from Friday night?
Just Gareth McCauley is still got a bit of a hamstring issue. Borner will be back available. He's over his bout of illness. So yeah, we're pretty healthy.
Ryan, when you play a team 6, well, you'll be playing them 7 times by the end of the season. Is there any surprises by the end of it when you play them for the 6th time in about 6 months?
I think it's just the way the league is, and the way the draws have worked out for the cup competitions. But I think what we do know is every time we have played Aberdeen and faced Aberdeen, it's been a very tough match. So as the manager touched on, tomorrow night we expect the best Aberdeen team to turn up to Ibrox, and we need to show reaction from Friday and make sure we turn up as well.
In terms of the whole season for you guys, how important do you look at this game tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think the start of the season we said that we wanted to do as well as we could in all competitions we entered, and I think we've not hidden away from the fact we want to do very well in the Scottish Cup, and we do want to go all the way, but we know it's going to be a very tough test that's in front of us tomorrow night, and we've got to put all our focus into that match.
They came in December and they won at Ibrox, so they probably won't have any fear. Does that actually, in some respects, perhaps make it easier? The fact that they may well come out, they might be on the front foot.
No, I think they'll definitely come with belief and a game plan to probably hit us on the counter attack and try and soak up the pressure as they did the last time we played. But as I said, we just need to focus on ourselves and make sure we show reaction from Friday night, dropping 2 points, and we've got a great chance to go and go to the National Stadium playing another semi-final. So we need to turn up and play as well as we can.
Get your views as a player on what we were discussing at the top of the presser. How do you, as players, feel about your safety in general? I mean, you've had to play. You're playing a team tomorrow night that you started your career with, and you've had a bit of animosity you've had to deal with since you left there. Do you feel safe as a player? And do you know when you look at what happened to Jack Grealish yesterday? What goes through your mind?
Yeah, I don't think as a player, like talking for myself anyway, I don't think I ever turn up to a game or go onto a pitch expecting that a fan's going to run on and maybe assault you or confront you. And I think, to be honest, you don't really think about that side of it. You just turn up, you play the game, and you deal with what's on the pitch at the time. But obviously for James, it puts James in an awkward position that someone has actually came on and confronted him. But I thought James dealt with it excellently, and it's credit to him.
I was going to say, did you speak to him afterwards? Because he dealt with it impeccably, and other circumstances it might have been a difficult one for him to deal with.
Yeah, he did speak after it. He just said, obviously, he never expected that to happen. And of course, as players, you never expect someone to come over the boards and be in your face and confront you. So, as you touched on there, James dealt with it brilliantly, and that's a credit to him.
What's it been like playing alongside Glenn Kamara? The two of you have obviously struck up a good partnership in that midfield, and he's come in. How much have you enjoyed playing alongside him?
Yeah, it's been very good. Glenn's a good footballer. He's a top footballer, and that's obviously why the manager's brought him to the club. And we've got a great sort of selection of midfielders at the club at the minute. So we all enjoy playing with each other, and it's tough competition for a place in the team, and that's where you want to be at a big club.
Well, thanks for that. Fox Old School, we all back?
Yep.
Boswell touched upon it when he came in, obviously, with the incident with James Tavernier. And by the way, credit to Tav, the way he handled it. I think both the manager and Ryan Jack said that, and I think it's true that Tav did handle it very well. Obviously, it's hit the headlines because with the two other incidents that happened yesterday. It's magnified that, so it's something we're going to have to deal with. But for me personally, the mistake that Scottish football made was what happened after the cup final in 2016. Everything became fair game. Just my personal opinion, they lost discipline. The supporters.
Our supporters.
The supporters.
Yeah, okay. Yep. Okay. Football, Scottish football.
But that's how they're struggling anyway.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. We were there and witnessed it. I managed to stop a couple of young boys jumping over the barrier to go in and do whatever they were going to do. And I've pleaded for them not to do it, because that's all they wanted. They were goading them. And there was no police there. All the police that were there only wanted you to just keep on filming. That's all they wanted to do with their video cameras. Nothing short of shocking, disgraceful. And we were there and we walked up the street and they were come marching down and claimed that the Rangers fans wouldn't let the vans past, all that crap. And when we got up to the street, they were all lined up, all the vans there. Nah, dirty rats.
What I'm saying about it, but when that incident happened that day, that's when Scottish football goes to plot, how they dealt with that. And
absolutely. They
anyway.
accepted the Hibs chairman's words to say it was exuberance. That's what he did. The whole of Scottish football, because it was Rangers that was on that part and Rangers players, they accepted everything that was done and everything that happened after the final whistle as exuberance. And I'm sorry, that wasn't exuberance. It wasn't exuberance when the guy confronted, shall we say, James Tavernier. He assaulted James Tavernier. I don't know why they can't put it into English words. We've got a good language. He assaulted him. Done. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I'm ranting.
You're good at it, but JFK and Rudy.
I think if it had been somebody else, or if it had been us that had been onto the park, then it would have been a big issue made it. But because they were attacking us, then they didn't want to do anything about it, because it's typical of them. It's in the forefront now, I feel, only because it happened elsewhere. What happened to Tav the other night, and they did deal with it very good. He handled it well. But it's in the forefront now, and they're only going to do something about it because there's incidents happening elsewhere. I agree with the gaffer, and I heard the Bridgeman say it on Friday night. The gaffer should have taken them off the park. I know it was half-time, but there should have been assurances made that there's nothing going to reoccur again in the second half. The stewarding in the second half was just as poor as it was in the first half at that spot. So the spoon burners that are at it all the time, and nothing's done about it. For her to come out and say sorry to James Tavernier and then say she's going to close a bit of the stadium, she'd close the whole thing down and just let all the spoon burners burn wherever it lies, because It's absolutely disgusting. No one likes us, we don't care. But it's Rangers again. They're not going to do much about it. They're just trying to take it in a hole. Just to finish off, I don't know what the guy Jackson today was talking about, all the incidents that happened the last 3 or 4 days regarding fans. But he felt the necessary to talk more about incidents involving Rangers fans, coin throws. The linesman's head was sliced by a coin thrown by Rangers fans, whereas some of the other things that have been happening in other places are far worse than what happened. He never even mentioned Alfredo getting hit with a coin, but he kept going on about the Buckfast bottle getting thrown at the puddle drinker. So they're against us all the way, guys, and it's a big battle for us. But let's no kid ourselves on. The first wee time that we step out of line as far as they're concerned, they're going to jump on us for a big height, and it's coming soon.
Yep. Thanks for that, Jimmy. Rudy Bear.
You can go back to the playoff game against Motherwell. So you can. Lee McCulloch was hit with a pole. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You go back to the 2016 Cup final when Rangers players and staff were assaulted on the pitch. Nothing. It was put down to over-exuberance. And Rod Petrie, funnily enough, I wonder why he managed to hang on to his position at the SFA. Right, so you move forward. We've seen all the other stuff happening. You've got all the coin thrown, the bottles thrown. You've got all sorts of nonsense happening. And then the boy Grealish gets smacked in the face with some half-wit who runs onto the park and physically assaults him during the game. And if you look at the reporting of what happened in that game down south, in the media outlets down there, absolute, utter condemnation of what happened to the boy Grealish, and rightly so. You've got the English PFA coming out and going after nut about it. You've got the English FA saying this is not going to happen again. Every media outlet, every sporting body, anything to do with football, south of the border, has absolutely and utterly condemned what happened to Grealish. You're looking.
And then the funny thing is, it did happen. It happened about 3 or 4 hours later.
But you look at north of the border, though. But I'm talking about what they said they were going to do about it, Ox. You look north of the border and look what's happened up here. You've got people in the media up here saying that James Tavernier was partly to blame for what happened to him the other night. You had people in the media up here telling lies about the cup final when the Hibs fans assaulted Rangers players and staff on the pitch after the cup final. Absolute stark contrast for me. And that's the problem up here is the media, the punditry, the SFA and the SPFL. The SPFL have only come out and made a statement because of what the FA done down south. They're a bunch of jokers, man.
Possible.
Nothing's happened. Nothing whatsoever has happened. The question I want to ask here is, clubs are paying a lot of money for stewarding. So, and they're also paying a high price for policing as well. So quite clearly, no one's getting any value for money here. And maybe we should go back to the police and maybe we should go back to stewarding. But it's strange how we never ever seem to have this kind of problem at Ibrox from any Rangers supporter. But everybody else seems to have a problem. We go back as far as 1999 and the Huddle game. Look at the carry on that night. I mean, this is not a new thing in Scottish football. This is not a new phenomenon. Other supports have been getting away with this for absolutely years and nothing's happened. It took Neil Doncaster almost 48 to 50 hours to come out after that.
I do believe he only came out with that statement, boys. What happened in England.
Exactly. But the other point I'd make about this is, why do we think Leanne Dempster couldn't get her arse down the stairs quick enough? Because she knew they were in trouble. But because she's come out and fire fought that, nothing will happen to Hibs now, because the media and the authorities will see her actions as proactive and having done something about it and come out. What's our club done? Absolutely nothing. They haven't come out and condemned Hibs. They haven't come out and condemned the supporter. And I noticed on the coverage tonight, they're hiding his face on the telly. So every media outlet, television, radio, press, whatever illiterates they have on there, they're all covering this guy's identity
I
up.
think they've got to now that he's been charged and he's released on bail.
But today, you see that guy at Birmingham jailed, 14 weeks in the jail, and they didn't. That block's feet's never touched. But this guy, he'll be lucky if he gets a restraining order.
And it's been suspended for a month before they even give him any time.
£5 fine for breach of the peace.
Yeah, exactly.
So
we
can see already that nothing whatsoever will happen about this, and our club, the board of directors, stand by and let this happen again.
That's my point, Boswell. That's the point I'm making between the difference between down south and up here. If that had happened to a Celtic player on the park,
it would have been done today.
The boy would have been in the jail by now.
Yeah.
Well, let's be really honest about it. If we're trying to be objective,
no,
there was a bottle thrown at one of them for the same area last week, and I read the Monday that Hibs CCTV wasn't up.
Yeah, well, there lies a story in it. And did we
that's
have
a new stand? That's a new stand. Remember?
Was Leanne Dempster's arse down in the touch lane shortly after that happened? No, it wasn't.
That's how she was doing this time.
Guys, if you actually watched the incident, you actually seen the guy coming out his chair. He was steaming. He runs right down the stairs, and there was a steward at the bottom of the stairs. The steward actually went to the side so that the guy could actually go on, and that's no kidding. If you watch it, you'll actually see the steward actually moving to the left-hand side the way the camera's looking at him, and the guy jumped to hoarding, booted Tav, and you know, with all our press and media, there was more said in England in regards and defence of the Rangers player than there was even up here, as Bozzy's saying.
Well, the BBC's reporting said both parties put hands on one another. So what's James Taverner meant to do? He's got this bloody junkie coming at him from any kind of direction, and Tav's meant to stand and say, "Oh well, I'm a right back. I better stand back and let you hit me." Shit. I'll tell you, that's the BBC for you. But this is a political situation that's causing this. That's what really is causing this, is that we are opposed to the whole nationalistic the politicalisation of this, and that's why we are not looked upon favourably.
Yeah, it's the undercurrent all the time. We all know it. Yep.
So, going back to, I think we're in pretty much agreement that Tav handled it well. Our club might have come out with a statement, or maybe should have done, but didn't they? Maybe, I don't know why, but we'll maybe find out as the days go on. But going back to the football, something I did pick up strange. Borna Barisic, in and out the team with injuries, niggling things. Is he quite a soft player, Rudy Bear?
Well, if you listen to Steven Gerrard about 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, he said both Borna Barisic and Grezda had to toughen up a wee bit. When you go back to the friendly game when he's rolling about the ground, I think Steven Gerrard said afterwards he seemed a bit irked by him. That he punched the ground, 55 times or something like that. You know, I think he is. I think he's come from a league where technical ability probably is at the forefront of how teams play in Europe. I'm sure Boswell probably tell us more about that. I don't watch a lot of European football, but I wouldn't imagine it's...
I heard that up to this year.
Me too. But I wouldn't imagine it's got the amount of hammer throwers in it, that league that he's come from, that we've got.
Fair comment.
And I think he's a wee bit like that. I think he's maybe a wee bit light as far as,
Don't kid yourself, Rudy. Don't kid yourself.
Oh, Shadow.
I have no idea. I mean, I was just looking up there. He played 54 games over 2 seasons for us, so it sounds like he hasn't had a problem across there. But I said Croatians are not renowned for being, how can I put it, dying wallflowers or however which way you want to put it. You know, so they're only quite
after themselves, mate.
Yeah, so I've no idea what what the score is with Barisic, because he certainly hasn't had a problem before he's come to Scottish football. Perhaps he's been targeted more because of the team he's playing for in Scotland, and he's not getting the level of protection from referees that they get in Croatia. That's the only thing I can think of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, JFK.
It's quite sad to see that he's not getting a game. When he first came, he had a sweet left foot on him and he could ping a ball here, but for whatever reason he's no hacking it now. The manager maybe thinking he's no up for it. He's too soft a player. He doesn't look that tight, doesn't he? No, he's a big bustling guy and he looks as if he could handle himself, but for some reason it's no there for him, and that's a shame because we could all see at the very start he looked as if he was a good player, but maybe Scottish football's too hard for him now, and he's got to get toughened up Ox here. So if he doesn't do it for the end of this season, then he needs to buck his ideas up to be part of the team, maybe even the squad. Might even be part of the squad next season. So we spent a lot of money on him, so we're relying on it to be there for us.
Oxford manager said on Friday that he was ill, that's why he wasn't in the squad.
That's what I mean, it's illness.
Whereas today he said he was in the squad for tomorrow, so whether it was a bit of the flu, who knows?
Well, I hope. Sorry, Oxford.
On you go, mate.
I hope that what the manager said for the last couple of press conferences it has been an illness as opposed to an injury, and let's hope he's over it, because we desperately need really good players at the back. We desperately need it. I'm not saying Andy Halliday's poor in any great way, but I think Barisic is a far better plaer than Andy Halliday.
He wasn't great on Friday, Andy. He wasn't great.
No, I think Friday was a really, really tough game for us, and the weather was dreadful. The pitch was dreadful. Everything about it, and I think that epitomised it when Andy hit the bar, as opposed to even making the goalkeeper make a save with that last-minute free kick. Beautiful free kick, but wet park, wet pitch, when you're taking it, things happen, you know. But seriously, I really do hope Barisic, it was an illness, and he's back in the team as quickly as possible, because he needs to get games and get back his form and get in there and do whatever needs to be done, because we're a better team with him in it, I'm sure of it.
All right, I'll just go on the panel, just a simple, will you play him tomorrow night if you're picking the team, boys?
No, I'd play Halliday, and I don't think he had a proper pre-season as well. I think that might be part of the problem.
Mm-hmm. Bridge?
Yeah, I would play him.
Mm-hmm. Fox?
I would play him.
JFK?
No, Halliday for me.
Blue Shadow?
Barisic for me, superior player for me.
Blue Star?
I think he's a cert, Ox, because I think he'll be playing him because he'll want Boz swung in, and I think that's why he's back in the squad.
All right, only time will tell, but the majority of people seem to think he'll be playing.
Can I go for Halliday if that's all right, Ox?
I wasn't going to ask you, mate, because I was asking the people who knew about football.
And ring you.
Oh, sir, can I just say that's a real
Yeah, right.
That's a real compliment to Andy Halliday. So many people think he should get the game and get a place in front of him, in front of Barisic. Because I think Barisic is a really, really good player, a really clever player, a beautiful one-day left foot. And I just think that's a real compliment to Andy Halliday.
Rode that bridge. When was the last time he put a cross in?
I know.
That,
remember this illness that they're talking about. It may be an ongoing thing for a wee while. We just don't know.
I mean,
on you go, Blue Shadow, on you go.
Could it be that the shape that we're playing with, having Kent in front of him, is inhibiting him coming forward as much as we would normally do? If you remember when we were playing Osijek, when we were playing Osijek,
we can't get outside, might kill his space, but what that does to Stoke, mate, is when you get in a position and you can cross it.
Aye.
It still doesn't excuse that you're not putting in a decent cross, whether it's for what position in the pitch it is.
It's just saying it's maybe interrupting the flow to his game, for example, because when we played Osijek, that he was bombing down that left-hand side virtually all night, when we were across there. Not so much when we were at Ibrox, but when we went across there, he was doing that side all the time. And as regards no he in a pre-season, he had a pre-season Osijek, and he was playing perfectly well. and he was playing well when he arrived at Ibrox. But I don't know what's happened in between.
Aye, well, hopefully, yeah. I think he'll play tomorrow night. I think the manager puts him in front of Andy.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. So hopefully he's a good game and we win the match. Rudy Bear, since I missed you, mate, I can see your lip trembling for here. How do you see the rest of the team setting up?
I think usual 4-3-3. I don't see any changes really. I think we'll go with Kent Candace, Alfredo up front. I think we'll see Jack, Kamara and Arfield in the midfield. I don't know whether this wee niggly injury that apparently Arfield's been carrying, whether that'll have cleared up or not. And the usual back four. I think, well, I'd say a usual back four. I'd play Halliday at left back. But I think you're right. I think he'll go with Barisic tomorrow. So with the usual centre back, Tav and McGregor. I don't see many changes, to be honest.
All right. Anybody think there'll be any changes tomorrow night?
I think McCrory will play instead of Arfield.
Well, that gives us a problem, Jay, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think Arfield
becomes isolated, didn't he?
Aye.
You think Arfield's injured, JFK?
Well, he said he took him off because in 11 minutes. What did he take him off for?
He said his exact words were, he took him off because he was carrying a knock.
Yeah. So, and we played like a sack of tatties with the second half. So, for me,
I don't think he said that, but you might be right.
Oh, they might be right. Aye, but I would stick with Halliday, as I said, and
what, in midfield?
I'd stick with Halliday instead of Barisic, and I would change Arfield for McCrory, and the rest is the same as it started.
So you're going to play McCrory basically as an attacking midfielder?
Well,
no, he's going to have him sitting and push the other two on.
All right, okay. But who are they going to play at the front then? Because that's what Arfield does. He links.
Wait a minute.
He links very well.
See the game that he played McCrory, and McCrory ran riot in the second half against the Dons. He went forward.
Yep.
And he had a brilliant game.
He's a smashing player, McCrory. There's no doubt about it. Smashing player. I don't know what the manager's going to do. I think Arfield he's got that knack of just getting into the space. You saw that he got into space a couple of times on Friday night there, but just couldn't finish. So he could easily have a hat trick on Friday night if he had managed to get his shooting boots on. And I don't know anybody else in our team that can get into the positions that Arfield gets. I'm not being funny, no disrespect to anyone. I just think Arfield gets himself into these positions. He just needs to finish, really and truly. That's the way I feel about him anyway.
I think that team, Jimmy, as I say, I'm not so sure about that. With if you're going to play McCrory, which I've no, instead of Arfield, which I've no objection to, I don't think you can play Halliday on the left back, because I think if you're going to play the three sort of almost proper midfielders and not an attacking one, then you need the two wing backs to be committed forward and have Tavernier and Barisic absolute right boys. You get yourselves forward and perhaps play that front three narrower, like I said earlier on, like I saw Liverpool do it the other night. Play them narrower, get support to Fred earlier, and then I think perhaps might get a bit more joy.
Does anybody see Stephen Davis getting a game tomorrow night?
Can't see it, Bridge, at the moment. I just can't see it. I think he'll be on the bench, personally.
Also depends in Stevie G whether he thinks they'll play with, what do you call him, Mackay Stephen and the other boy on the wings. That's maybe why he'll go for Barisic, because he's a better defender than Andy, let's be honest.
I don't know if there's much in the defending, mate.
No, I think he is.
I've not seen anything for Barisic that instills real confidence in me defending. Fox?
I've no idea what team he'll play tomorrow night, to be honest, mate. But what we need to remember is this game could go to extra time, and his picks for the bench will be just every bit as important as the first team that starts. I think it'll be a very tight game, and I think there's possibilities that could go into extra time.
Anybody else think that?
No, I think we've got to go at them and get on top of them right for the very first whistle, and with the crowd behind us, I believe that's what we'll do.
And they've got his style on tap, though. That's the thing.
Aye, for 90 minutes.
90 minutes, aye.
Well, I'm going to go for extra time and penalties. I say that for the Kilmarnock game and we won 5-0.
I hope you're right.
I hope you're right,
It's
Jimmy.
been a long time since any used to were in tap for 90 minutes.
Hey, I'm for Partick, you know, I've got stamina.
I know that, Jeff. Kim was talking about you. I was talking about two before you. Brad, you better watch extra time and penalties. You might miss that last subway.
You just, I know some of the
I
guys,
know, I'll need to watch it right enough.
I know some of the guys are put in the lobby there, Oxshire, but just anybody who's no in the lobby and are just listening, the barriers are up tomorrow night for the game. There's no access to Broomloan Road coming along the
That's
quarter
Savile
past
Row.
6 onwards.
Ox, can I just say something? Are you aware of the fact
No.
that McGregor called
No.
halt on his international career the
I'm
night?
sure we'll talk about that as the rest
Yeah.
of the week goes on, mate.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm sure we'll talk about that as the rest of the week comes on. Where were we?
These guys, can you see in the lobby there? I think it's Dougie the Bears put something in for the Scottish Sun saying Stephen McLean, the referee, has phoned Rangers boss Stephen Gerrard to apologise for the Hibs call. That's the foul that was on James Tavernier. Unbelievable, isn't it?
You're right.
Shocking. Sorry, boys.
That was a foul, Bridge, you know.
Do you know who the ref is tomorrow?
Kind of black, mate. Kind of black.
Probably Stephen McLean.
Same referee done the first time.
You've got to be joking. mate.
Declan.
That was his, mate. That's the rules.
Really?
Is it, honestly?
Aye.
Aye.
Have you
Oh,
two
no.
just took up football lately, like?
No, but that was changed. That rule was changed at the start of the season.
Who done the last game? In the Kilmarnock game?
I don't know,
Who
to be
done the
honest.
first game against Kilmarnock?
Can't mind, Ox.
The same guy. So you're stuck with the same ref again?
I've made
It's heartbreaking.
I
It's
think-
heartbreaking for Rangers fans. That. Heartbreaking.
Absolutely, Bridge. Absolutely, because he had a nightmare.
I've made it obvious what I think of Clancy. I can't say any more about him than I've already done, Ox, because I'll end up getting my door kicked in. But I know exactly what Clancy is. He knows what he is as well. But I know what Clancy is. You just have to watch his refereeing performances against us, and you can see what he is.
Anyway, it's up to us
there's a
to
support-
play.
Aye.
Oh, I don't know what's coming through. Somebody coming through. No.
What's that?
I was just going to say, Ox, here,
Quickly,
there's a...
game. Just quickly, how do you think it's going to go tomorrow night? Quickly, and I mean quickly, Bridge.
1-0 for Rangers.
Should have asked you. I shouldn't even asked you. Boswell. I think Boz is gone. JFK.
Extra time and penalties.
You're worse. Blue Shadow.
I think it'll be tight. It'll be a goal in it, 1-0 or 2-1.
All right. Blue Star.
I don't care as long as it's a win.
Rudy Bear.
I'm going for a 2-1, the famous.
And Fox.
1-0 Rangers, extra time.
All right. We've got the same thing tomorrow. The game's on delayed transmission. So it's been shown live, delayed live. It's shown at 10 o'clock over the Sky Freeview channel. So there'll be no show tomorrow night. There'll be a pre-match show to see how the team's announced, but we'll have no show. And then we'll be back on Wednesday. All right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that people who delayed transmission can watch the game. What about you, Bridge?
Well, what can I say? Two things I would just like to say that there's been a warning, or shall we say, a warning's out to Rangers fans going up to be ready for their access. These barriers are going up again for the away support going in. So just to be prepared for it. Secondly, I hear that there's only 2,000 tickets. There's only 2,000 tickets left for the game tomorrow night. So it will be a sellout. And once again, fabulous. Well done to the Bears. And can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world listening in here, particularly the boys in here on Rangers Radio, every single one of us, tomorrow night, big game. biggest game of the season, means a lot to us. Let's get in there and give it up everything for the Rangers. Keep it going for the Rangers because they need it.
Yep, cheers, Bridge. I thank everybody for calling in this evening. This has been Rangers Radio. Thanks to everybody for listening. We'll be back tomorrow night at 6:45 with a pre-match show. Take it away, Fox.
Cheer from the crowded congregation as the light blues emerge beneath the stand to the sound of the very latest music that was played by the Govan Band. The excitement was tense, the game was starting as the Rangers kicked off amidst the roar. For the yells and shouts were just terrific when the one and only Glasgow Rangers scored. We'll support no other team but Rangers and follow wherever they may go. So drink a toast to Glasgow's football heroes who play in red, white and blue and Dunmore go. The excitement was tense, the game was starting as the Rangers kicked off amidst the roar. For the yells and shouts were just terrific when the one and only Glasgow Rangers scored. We'll support no other team but Rangers and follow wherever they may go. So drink a toast to Glasgow's football heroes who play in red, white and blue and Dunmore go. Who play in red, white and blue and Dunmore go.